All right, Sean Zittel here with the Hall of Famer Desert Storm. My man Timothy Bradley, the head analyst over at ESPN. And Tim, man, I was like you. I had Devin Haney winning this fight decisively, and then Ryan Garcia, he turned the boxing world upside down about 12 hours ago. What's your initial impressions of this three knockdown, huge upset by Ryan Garcia?
Well, first of all, let me just touch on both these guys' performances. It was surprising to see Haney in the way he was able to perform. He showed grit, he showed determination, the will to win. He did his best to stay on his feet and all the way to the end. However, just looking at his game plan and understanding that he had prior fights with this man, it almost seemed to me that he was just somewhat in an arrogant state of mind of that left hook. He wasn't worried about that left hook. There's some flaws that I've always seen with Haney. However, I've always felt that he's continued to get better and better. I understand that he's a student of the game and he studies boxing. He's always watching film. He breaking down film and of his opponents. However, I thought that's what he was doing with himself. One of the biggest issues that I saw was right out when he got caught. He got caught when he was shooting the jab, and he has that bow and arrow type of jab where he pulls the backhand back as he's shooting the jab. And shout out to Jims for elaborating on that on his channel, Boxing Gyms. Anyways, he has that issue. However, I thought that he was going to be able to tighten that up, understanding the fact that he can't be having any bow and arrow type of jab because Ryan Garcia's going to be able to land that check hook. He's going to be able to land that shot. It's an automatic punch for Ryan Garcia, and that was the first shot he got hit with, and he went down. And from there, it was just like when the fighter goes down, one, he's embarrassed. It's the biggest fight of your life. Of course, you're going to be embarrassed. At the same time, it does something to your psyche.
Well, actually,
So
Tim, I
now,
think he was buzzed by the hook. I don't think he went down in one. I don't think it was until the seventh that Ryan put him down on the hook.
yeah,
That
yeah, yeah,
yeah, he got
yeah.
hurt. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Mhm.
right. Mark, yeah, you're right. If my memory serves me wrong. However, I know he got hurt. He got hurt. He
Yeah,
got
the
hurt
first
badly.
minute of the fight.
Yeah, yeah, with that left hook. Anyways, you would think that he would be responsibly defensively, and that was the reason why I actually picked Haney was because I'm like, yo, he's fighting a guy that he knows. He's fighting a guy that has hand speed, punching power. He's going to have to be cautious. He's pretty damn defensively sound at that, and yet he didn't show that. He didn't show that in the fight. Now let's talk about Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, he did some interesting things in there. I think Derek James, I think they had a great game plan. He used his jab every now and then. He was luring in. He was trying to set lateral traps. You kept seeing him moving to the left and moving to the right, bagging up, bringing Haney, just allowing Haney to come in and come in and come in. But once he started punching with Haney, and I said this in my breakdown, I was like, to better his chances, he has to punch with Haney because he has the faster hands and he's the stronger puncher. And once he started exchanging with him, man, and letting his hands go, Haney had no answers whatsoever. There was no counters coming. Haney would just go up in a high guard. The speed was too blazing fast. The power was too much for him. It looked like he didn't have his legs because he was getting knocked off balance and so on and so forth. But they had a really good plan, and he started turning that jab into a hook, a surprise hook. He started parrying with it, using that lone guard, and he started coming around and catching him with that hook. But I want to go back to the beginning because you're an analyst, great analyst as well, man. I listened to you on your channel. Through the lead up of this fight, I thought Haney was going to win this fight with flying colors. And
Hmm.
that's with everything being equal. Understand that. That's what everything being equal. So like we make our predictions, we talk about this, we talk about that, we talk about each other's flaws, we talk about all their abilities, right? But that's before we actually get to the weigh-ins, because the weigh-ins is actually where you can see, all right, is my pick right or is my pick wrong? Two, to continue what I'm going to initially say is that Ryan Garcia didn't make the weight, people. I don't care. Like, you have a contract to make a weight. And I don't think Ryan Garcia intended to make the weight at 140 pounds. You know, even after the fact, Ryan was like, well, well, that's why I always fight at 143. You know, there was no way I was gonna make the weight. He knew even going into the fight that he wasn't gonna make the weight to begin with. You know, which is one, not right. Two, you're contracted to make 140, and you go into the fight now with an advantage. You know, so what he learned from Gervonta Davis was he took it into this fight against Devin Haney. And, you know, some people say, well, Haney, you know, he took the money and Haney, of course, he had to because he was damned if he didn't, if damned if he don't. This is a huge event, man. And now you pull away, now you're going to piss off a lot of folks. The zone, promoters, everybody going to start, oh, he's scared, he's that, he's this and that. It's only 3 pounds, it's only 3 pounds. If it's only 3 pounds, 3 and a 3.2, 3 point, whatever it is, if it's only that, why wasn't it attempted to be made? Why didn't Ryan Garcia attempt to make that weight? Because he said it in a tweet. I'm not going to drain myself. I want to be physically strong for the fight. Well, guess who drained themselves to make their weight? Devin the Dream Haney. Now, it's not Ryan's fault. However, Ryan didn't even attempt to make the weight. So Ryan went into this fight with an advantage. Remember, everything we say through the lead up, we don't know that he's not going to make the weight. We're assuming possibly, you know, but we're not banking on any of that. We're banking on skill for skill. Period. Skill for skill. Their last performances, how each guys, what the mistakes are, yada yada yada. All right. Boom. So I just wanted to elaborate on that, man, and saying that Ryan Garcia had an advantage in this fight. It wasn't an even playing field here. You know, Devin Haney act like a true professional all the way through. He was a true professional all the way through. He made his contracted weight. Understand that, people. Garcia didn't, and it helped him in this fight. He was walking. Look, Haney is not a big puncher, but he's a respectful puncher. But he was walking through his stuff like nothing. I mean, every shot that Ryan threw, it buckled Haney. Even if it was a grazing blow, it buckled him. But I tell you right now, it will be different. If 3 pounds is not much, why didn't Ryan attempt to make it? Okay, because they would have weakened his resolve. There's no doubt in my mind. Now you got an even playing field. Now it's a little bit different. Now it would have took something away from that punching power that he had because he looked heavy. You know, we say, well, Haney gets up to 160 something pounds. He blown up. That's a ton of sodium, water retention, so on and so forth. He's not making his weight properly. However, you had Ryan that has a solid 3, maybe even more pounds that was on him, man. He looked so dense and so big in that fight with Haney. Haney looked like the small guy. Usually Haney is the bigger guy. He was small compared to Ryan Garcia. And so that's what helped him in his favors. So now I look at this and I go, well, what kind of credit do you give Ryan? What kind of credit do you give Ryan, honestly? You know, oh, the fight was great. The result was fantastic. You know, everybody was on the edge of their seat. However, how much credit do you really give him when he had an advantage going into the fight? You know, I don't care about the belt. I don't care about the actual bet that they had. That's not the point. The point is you had a contract to wait. You knew you weren't going to make. In that case, you should have made the fight at 143. No belt attached to the fight, but he didn't. That would have helped Haney in this bout. It would have definitely helped him be able to absorb them shots that Ryan was throwing and landing.
So, couple things, a lot of things, as always, with your analysis to unpack. So let's say, basically, does Ryan, from what you saw, though, even though maybe Devin could have had a better game plan, you know, be the pure boxer instead of trying to prove a point and match Tank in terms of stopping Ryan and not just winning him. And then Ryan coming in at 40 instead of 43. But at the end of the day, Tim, did you see that Ryan Garcia has Devin Haney's number?
You know what? That's a really good question. And I would say, yeah. I would say, yeah. And I would also say no. I would say, yeah. And I also would say no. I say, yeah, because regardless of how I look and I view Ryan Garcia as a fighter, you know, like what he does have is elite speed and elite power. Those two things right there are hard to come by, period. Doesn't have the best technique, doesn't have the best boxing ability. I mean, you saw him. Dude was literally turning his back again. People, are you kidding me? Turning his back like this. Have you ever seen that in a fighter? I've never seen that before, bro. It's the first time me ever seeing someone turn their back and get away with it, man. You can't turn your back like that away from action, bro. That is wrong. That is not right. And something needs to be done. Like a rule needs to be changed. The Ryan Garcia rule. Remember they had the hack-a-shack? The Ryan Garcia, they need something. You don't turn your back. Don't do that Ryan Garcia. You know what I mean? Because it's not fair. It's not allowing your opponent to be able to mount an offense because you're turning your back. And now you got the referee that's vexing you on that. Now, the flip side of that is again, the even playing field. The even playing field. Some of his resolve would have been taken if he would have shrunk down now 3.2 pounds. It would have been taken away. Some of that power that Ryan had would have been taken away. Maybe, just maybe, Haney would have been able to take some of those punches a lot better. They wouldn't have had as much effect on those shots as they did. You know, just maybe. You know, but I could say Ryan, yes, because of the experience they had in the past, he did have his number. There's no doubt about it. But that's why they 3 for 3. They were 3 for 3. Now they're 3 for 4. That's why they got to do it again, because I feel that if they did it again on the even playing field, Haney might can get him. Haney might can get him. Now, Haney took a ton of damage. I don't think it's going to be hard to be the same after taking that type of butt whooping. I mean, because he got his behind whooped. Okay. But if you look at the past, and this is where I'm gonna go with the weight. If you look at the past, look at the guys that came before us and fights, big fights where guys come overweight. What do they normally do? They're the ones that normally win. You remember Salido, you know, Lomachenko, and of course there's other things that's tied to it.
Jose
You know what
Luis
I mean? But
Castillo in the rematch with
yeah,
Perales.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, bro. Like there's this history that tells us that the guys that come in overweight, especially 3.5 pounds, bro, that's a lot of weight, bro. It is. And it might not seem like a lot, but again, to my point, if it's not a lot, why didn't he attempt to make it? Why did they? And Haney saved the show, guys. Haney saved the show. And with that being said, you should have Garcia to honor a rematch, man. He should honor a rematch, you know. And if he beats Haney fair and square, bro, beats him fair and square, weight for weight, pound for pound, he makes that weight class, bro, I'll give him all the praise in the world. Now, let me talk about Ryan Garcia for a minute and why I just despise him. I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan, bro. You know, you say and claim Jesus Christ and as your savior and you know and all of this stuff, bro. But then in the same sentence you stand telling somebody to suck your D. Like, bro, like, are you kidding me? Like that just don't that doesn't make sense, and that doesn't go well with me. That's so much contradictory for me. You know what I'm saying? And no, I'm not a religious type of man, but you know, dude, I got respect, bro. I got respect, and I got respect for the game. One, two, all the stuff that he did lead up. A lot of y'all you saying, oh, well, he was just playing, or you know, he got us, he got me, or that. That's the real Ryan Garcia, man. That is the real Ryan Garcia. He ain't playing. That's him. That's him. He's let his guard down. He's gonna be what he's gonna be. He's just saying, you know what? Fuck it. This is me. I'm gonna behave that way. I don't like it. I don't like it, and I don't have to like it at all. Period. And so that's why I kind of despise it. I don't like the dude. One, two. He has a huge following. Good for him. But as far as accomplishment in the sport, come on, man. The dude hasn't done anything in the sport. Okay, this fight right here, of course, boost his stardom, boost him to stardom. Okay, great. You know, they're saying, oh, he's gonna be the new face of boxing, yada yada. All right, win the world championship, beat somebody with credibility. Okay, now you say everybody's saying you beat a Haney, right? And I didn't think you was gonna beat Haney, but it wasn't on an even playing field. I don't care what anybody say. It wasn't on an even playing field. I've been in this game long enough, 30 plus years in this game. I know what the hell I'm talking about. Now, I don't care if I get the pick wrong. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a fight at the end of the day. However, Haney, he went in that fight with a disadvantage, and it showed because Ryan Garcia was able to take his best, and every time he hit him again, he was able to hurt him.